Hello, this is Datatan from VP Universe, and we are here for a series of video tutorials for DMD colorization using the new editor ColorizingDMD and the new Serum format. So in the previous video I showed you how to dump a file and also how to draw masks. Now we'll see how we will be using masks to filter your dump file and to prepare your colorization work. So let's switch to ColorizingDMD. So here we are. We are still with the Jurassic Park dump that I used, that I've created in the first video. So as you can see, in the frame strip in the bottom, there are a lot of frames that looks very similar. The only thing that is changing is the pixels here on the please wait words, where there is some random display. So this is typically a screen that could be easily filtered using a mask. So for this one I will take whatever a frame, I don't mind about that, so let's take this one. I will select the first mask, and it's an empty project, so there is no mask for now, and I will be drawing a mask to mask what I don't want to use for detection. So I could do it this way, asking and hiding only please wait, and it could work. When I am applying a selection like that, I can see and I can read here the number of frames that are similar. At the same time, I can see here in the frame strip at the bottom, all the red part, the green part here shows where are located the 153 frames. So if I want, I can easily navigate to see if we're talking about the same thing, and especially here. And yes, of course, these ones are different because I've got the T-Rex that is just passing by. So it seems to be okay. I don't have anything else everywhere else in the frame strip, so it looks good to have a mask this way. To be honest, this is not the way I would do it, because I know that it won't be very useful to have this kind of mask later on with the ROM, because it is hardly possible that I've got dynamic content only on the very upper part of the display. So what I will do is I will increase a bit the size of the mask. To do it, for example, like that, you see that I already still have the 153 frames, meaning that it didn't change anything, but this way I know that I will be able to reuse a lot more easily the mask for the room. So once I've defined what was my mask, so mask number 0, I'm happy with the drawing of the mask, I will hit this button, and by hitting this button it will delete all the corresponding frames, so the 153 frames. So I hit it, yes, and now you see that the number of frames have been reduced, and I only have this one that is remaining now, only one frame with the please wait. So I can have a look, and if I take, for example, this frame, I can see that this one is slightly different. I can use the same mask to apply here, because I see that there is a same frame, there is another one that is here, and if I look in the frame strip, there is another one that is located here. So either I can click and move the cursor to go through it. There is also a shortcut with the keyboard where I hit Control and using the arrow left and right, I can navigate through the frame. So I can see that the next one is the one that is here below, and that is located. So going back to where I was, I just hit without the control, I will hit the left arrow and I will get back to where I was just before. It's the arrows is a way also to navigate in the frame strip. So here I'm back on frame 14, and this is where I apply the mask. So I will delete also the same frame, and I can apply this to almost every single frame of this animation. So what I will do is I will be a bit more go a bit quicker on that, and I will select all the frame and then apply a mask to them. So to select the frame, it's like using the control, File Explorer of Windows, you can use Control and you can use Shift to select multiple frames, Control to select one frame at a time, Shift to select all the frames from one frame to the other one. So this way I applied a mask to almost all the frames of this animation. I didn't apply it to the very first one because I was doubting whether there was a place here, but yes, there is one dot, one pixel here, so it's enough to detect that it's a unique frame. It's not a unique frame, so okay, I will apply that. Because every single frames I can imagine, or I can quickly switch with the arrow to check that yes, all these frames have only one same frame here in the other number. So what I can do is select all these frames from here to this one, and for all this selection that I know that there are only one frame to delete, I will use this button that will do exactly like clicking this button for each single frame that are selected. Okay, so I hit that, and now I will have only one frame for this unique animation of the T-Rex that is just passing by with the please wait. Now I go to, okay, there is another screen that is very similar, so again I apply the same mask, I delete all the similar frames, and yeah, I can get going. Now I'm here at a screen where I see an animation where you're inserting coins. So this one seems to be unique frames because each time it's fixed content, it won't change. Perhaps there might be the same frame with or without the insert coin, but I see that the coin is not always at the same place. So let's say that everyone is unique. If I go now to this screen, replay screen, so if I try to reuse the mask, I will see that, yeah, this one is not possible because the mask is not hiding the dynamic content. It is hiding only partially fixed and partially the dynamic content, so it's not good. I will need to use a second mask. So for this one, I will use mask number 1, and I will create a new mask. This way, I will create, let's say, more or less the contrary of the mask that I've done before, because I know that usually on the ROM there is some fixed content on the upper part and dynamic contents on the bottom. So this way I will do as before, filter the ROM with this frame, and that's it. What's happening here is that I've got the scrolling. Okay, so for the scrolling I will apply for all the scrolling the same mask number 1, and I will delete all the similar frames here. I can have a look because I cannot undo this action, unfortunately. If ever I'm not so very sure what I'm doing, is I save my project just right now, have a look about the number and the total number of the frames. So there is 855 frames in total in this project. I hit this button and just have a look about the results. So not that much were deleted, so it's unlikely that I've got something that is not that was unique, or another frame that could have used. Let's go now to another one. Let's have a look at this one. So here I've got dynamic content on the left part and on the bottom part. Unfortunately, I won't be able to reuse mask number 0, mask number 1, so let's make another one, mask number 3, and I will be hiding the dynamic content that I've got here. And again, this one, what I will do is reduce a bit, because I know that from my experience it could be quite interesting to have something only for this part of the frames. So okay, again I will apply the same frame for all the animation that is just right here, quite long. Let's say up to here perhaps. Not taking the very last one. I'm a bit worried that there is only very little pixel for this one, so it might not be so similar. So let's say okay, I will delete all the frames for it. So not that much were deleted because a lot of them were unique. And then we come to one of the main the most numerous frame in any dump file, it will be the score display. So for this one, we usually use either the player, either the ball, either the credits. Credit is not a good option because if you're running a free play or if you're doing credits with more than 10 credits, perhaps the credit word can move a bit. So it's usually better either to use player, either to use ball. So in this case, what I will do is create a new mask. I will filter all the content, but here the player, and keep this one. Again, I can see that a lot of frames will be deleted from this, but if I have a look here, everything is located there. A bit here, I can navigate through the frame, so I'm seeing some scores. Here, again, some scoring also. Here some scoring again, here again, so it seems that everything is okay. So getting back to the first one, again, if I'm a bit lost, left and right to get back and to reactive exactly the frame where I was before. So I'm hitting this button and all the scoring will be disappearing. And this is how, again, you will be filtering all your dump file by applying some mask. What is key, again, I mentioned that before, make sure that you use as little mask as possible. You usually have to between 15 and 20 masks for a full color ROM, but try to reduce it. At the very beginning, be sure that you will make some error. It's not so a big deal because you can change that, you can modify that later on, but still take some attention on that. Some screens like that can be a bit tricky, so sometimes it's not so easy to understand exactly what would be the best way and how to handle the mask to be very efficient. For this one, for example, the dynamic content is not very easy to do. So for when you are questioning yourself about what is the best way to apply a mask, how you could do it, well, first I will say try with the most with the easiest frame animations. Perhaps these ones are a bit easier to do to start with, and when you run into difficulties, this is where, and this is why, there is a Discord channel, so do not hesitate to come and join us on the Discord channel, and we'll be very happy to help you and to share with you our experience and try to experiment what would be the best mask for you and for your project. One button here that I didn't mention is let's say the full filtering. So once you've covered everything in your ROM, you're about to release your file and you're very happy with the work that you've done, you need to check that you don't have two frames that are doubling or that would respond to the same. So it's important that you hit this button just to make sure that all frames that you have in your projects are unique. Be aware that it can be dangerous, so again, my best advice is to save before, then you apply and you check the number, the total number frame of your project. I will hit it just for here, but it shouldn't change long because I didn't apply that much of mask. So here I can see that the number didn't change. All the frames here are unique, so I'm ready. Once I've colored everything, everything should be okay. So that's it for the mask comparison and the using mask to filter your screens. No, this is not it. I forgot something. Here you've got a checkbox that is called shape mode. So shape mode, it's a specific feature that we have in Serum that we don't have in any other editors, and it would be useful in this kind of situation. So I made a choice to filter the frames using this kind of mask. I could have done it a different way. So what I will do is I will reapply, I will re-add a dump file. So let me look for the same dump file that I will add to the project again. My purpose is to have please wait and to show you how the shape mode could be useful in this kind of usage. It's not the only use case, depending on the type of project that you're on, the type of table and of ROM, especially for example the Gottlieb ROMs that have some fading effect between two, let's say, fixed frames. it could be very useful to get use of the shape mode. So I will remove the mask for this display, for this frame, and to remove it I just need to select to none, and this way it's a lot easier. So let's get at the very back. Here you can see that I've got a lot of frames again with the please wait. So another way is I could use this mask. So this way you will tell me, yeah, okay, it's not possible because I've got only dynamic contact, and it's true. For now, if I hit like that, there is only same frame. I can only see that this one is unique, so there is no difference. But if I activate the shape mode will not care about the level of color here. You know that the colors, it is a 4-color roams with 4 different shades of color, and using the shape mode it will just take care about the full shape, whether it is colored or uncolored. This way, when you've got some dots blinking like that on your roam, it's a way to create a mask that will work in this way. So this is why the shape mode could be very handy. And if I filter the frame here, you can see that I've got more or less the same results. I say more or less because let's say that if I go to this one, no, sorry, I thought that it was written the same word here, so no, it's 2 different words. So it works exactly the same for switch failure. If I go mask number 1, okay, I use the shape mode, then I remove it, and it's fine. So see, it could be a way to optimize the number of frame of mask, because in this kind perhaps I wouldn't need the zero mask anymore. It's likely, it's unlikely, but who knows. What I'm saying is that the shape mode could be very useful when you've got some ROMs like that with blinking. So it could be with blinking text, scores and whatever. It is really handy. So shape mode to reuse. So I hope it was clear for you, and we'll see in the next videos how we'll be able then, once we've filtered our project, to do some colorization on it.